Now, this is where I also want to challenge you. Why is it that Chamas and investment groups insist people must contribute equally?
Good question.
Why?
Ease, I think.
Yeah?
Ease of dividends.
No, but our financial abilities are different, isn't it? Eh?
That's true.
If you look at Tesla, I don't know how much stake Elon Musk has, but I think he's not 50%. He does not own 50% of the company. He might be the largest single shareholder, but he doesn't own the largest stake in the company. Tell me one great company that has all shareholders owning the same stake.
That's interesting.
You see,
Yeah.
that has been one of the hindrances of investment clubs. Because Kate's ability might be to contribute $1 million a month. Right? Amen. Amen. Yeah? Andrea's ability might be to contribute $500,000 a month. Yeah? Josephine might say, by the way, you guys, me, I have the 50 mic. Let me put the 50 mic there. Yeah? You put your $1 million. Me, I'm doing one time contribution. Okay, now this is where I'm also, I'm really going to spoil how you do things. We don't have to be contributing all of us every month. Contributing every month does not show my commitment. Okay. I can contribute 50 million, but I don't want to contribute again. But I've still expressed my commitment.
Yeah, completely.
Isn't it? Eh?
Yeah, in full.
You can commit 1 million shilling every month. You have still expressed your commitment.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Eh?
Fantastic.
And you can say, me, I'm doing a minimum of 500K. But next month, you put 2 million. The other month, you don't contribute anything. For the next 3 months. Then another, because your income flows are different. But the thing that we are really attacking is a 50 million target. So we must be also, are we comfortable with the idea that this company does not have to be owned equally by all of us?
Okay. All right.
Why many of us have big dreams, or many investment clubs have big dreams, and they are moving very slow, is because of that mindset. The Chama mindset, the merry-go-round mindset, that everybody contributes the same. But you probably, if I listened to your dream as a group, it might resonate with me so much that I say, me, I want to be part of your group. So you can attract somebody who has the money, yeah, because of your dream.
Yeah.
Just allow the person to have the bigger stake, isn't it? Eh? You will still get there. Because once you hit 50 million, what you can do with 1 million is very different with what you can do with 10 million.
That's true.
What you can do with 50 million is very different with what you can do with 10 million. So if I bring my 50 million to the group, I have elevated all of you. Isn't it? Our possibilities are different. We stop being investors in Kiambu County. We become investors in East Africa.
That's it.
Right?
Yes.
So we are breaking barriers today.
That's it.
We are breaking barriers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you think that is something that is possible?
Yeah.
Or what is the challenge?
Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, definitely it's something that's possible.
Mm.
I think the challenge is we had never thought of it like that. We had never seen that possibility, but then
Yes.
the more you speak, the more we see it's really possible and actually very practical.
Yes.
Because I think you've answered a question we had on as people's income changes, as you said, and I love that you touched on that. And soon somebody starts feeling like, no, this 5,000 and I could be giving 10 million like these people, so you just give it just for the sake of it. And so you don't become very focused in how you don't even track that money anymore, because for you it's just like giving 5 bob when you look at maybe your income.
Yeah.
And so I think even as a child, I'm seeing, at least I see Kate and Andrea nodding, so I believe in the speaking for us, that it's actually something possible, and it's really shifted our mindset. Yeah, so that would be the challenge. Our mindset was the challenge, because we've operated from the traditional sense of equal contributions, fairness. Oh, you don't want
democracy.
to feel like one person is feeling like me, I'm earning 2,000, I'm giving 2,000, you're giving 50 million. But if you are guided by the goal, which is what you now brought out, having spoken to a financial advisor, then now you become objective. It's not attacking Kate with your 10 million. It's not attacking Andrea with saying 500,000. It's about the goal. So it's not personal. It's not personal. So I think that's how I'm looking at it in terms of a challenge. But I believe our perspectives have been changed. I know that Kate, Andrea, you want to add? Anyone? Not me moderating. I will let me stop.
Yes, communicator.
Well, okay. I think the best place to start is to say that, of course, now it's back to restructuring, and I think that was the excitement we were having when we got this opportunity, that we'll be able to think differently and be able to grow from that point of thinking differently. So just the notion of it's possible, because you can treat it like shares in a company, because we've already agreed that a possible vehicle will be a company. It would be having different people have different shares in this company. So that sounds amazing.
Yes.
And while at that,
And let's challenge it.
we challenge it. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a point that could be able to challenge it? It was to lead to something else, but let me give them a chance to be able to challenge it, and maybe queries that they would have based on whatever has been spoken, before we can move to something related to it.
I think as what she said is very true. I think we're very ambiguous. I'm even thinking about our meetings. We say we want this particular thing, but we haven't sat down and gone like, this is exactly what it is. So I think that's an interesting conversation to have. Am I allowed to divert?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great, thanks. Looking at what you've just mentioned about investment and so on, we are a very mixed bag of people. Yeah. One person may be maybe high appetite risk.
Yes.
Another thank you. Hey, English left
The room.
yes. One is maybe high, others are low, others are medium. How then do you navigate that, even as you're working towards solidifying your strategy and your end goal? Yeah.
That's important. A very good question. So I think the question we've answered, we rest it there, is money is, when we have a great idea, money ceases to be the problem.
Yeah.
Especially when we accept that we do not have to own equal shares. I would love to own 0.05% alongside Elon Musk, because my 0.05% is far much greater than anything I own today. Right? So then comes the other part of it. When now we have the 50 million, do we have the capacity as a Chama or investment group to efficiently allocate it, meaning to multiply it? Do we have the capacity? Everybody reports to some job every day. We are selling our time. 8 hours is already bought, done, gone, finished. Isn't it? That's one. Two, our skill sets may have absolutely nothing to do with money. And even if we are financial experts, we still, because we are selling our time, we don't have the time to see, to invest and nurture until it becomes 50 million becomes a billion. We don't have the time. So that's another area I've seen many investment groups or chamas making huge blunders. We end up now being very remote control oriented, put money in a money market fund, which is fine as a starting point. But it may not get us to a billion. It may not get 50 million to a billion, all right? But what you really need now is to say, what is that activity, if we do it with 50 million shillings, we stand the highest chance of making 50 million shillings to become 100, and 100 to become 300, and 300 to become 700, and eventually a billion. Now we're in multi-generational wealth. And for me, is hiring an expert. If we hire an expert, then they wake up every day to look after our 50 million according to our strategy, so that we grow it to wherever it's supposed to be. That expert could be still your financial investment advisor, who behind them there's a whole investment team. So let me give my own personal story. I realized, even though I'm an investment professional, and I was trying to manage our family finances, our family portfolio was underperforming the portfolios of our customers. Because there is no in my calendar written, Pius, now monitor the performance of your family portfolio. That's the day when we realized that we just, as a family, agreed, sell everything, open an account with Nabo Capital, become one of the customers of Nabo Capital. And I have learned so much from that. I have learned that the payoff is far much bigger than the fees that I pay Nabo Capital, because there are 40 people behind that portfolio now, besides the other portfolios that they are managing. There are 40 people who woke up today to think about how to make the customers of Nabo Capital achieve their dreams. Mm-hmm. You get it? So while you're going to do your work, can somebody else be also looking after your portfolio? Mm-hmm. And the other beautiful bit is they also get to report to you. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine someone reporting to you, Andrea? It brings another good feel factor I cannot explain. Mm-hmm. They tell you, they do even PowerPoint presentations. They say, hey, this is where we began in the journey. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that day when we met Pius and we were shaken and we began this journey? You get it? Mm-hmm. Now look where we are. Now we are 100 million company. I may own 3%, but I'm 3% of 100 million. It's better than owning 10% of 15,000 bob. Agreed. Isn't it? Yeah. So, and then you also have your strategy and your plan. Say within 5 years you want to be at 50 million. Now we can see every 3 months when we sit down with our investment advisor, there is a step forward towards that vision we are realizing. Then the other thing is how it starts fueling us. Yeah. we guess what happens? We now start competing who owns the bigger share. Isn't it? Andrea will go and borrow a loan and say, me, I am no longer going to be a 1% owner. Here is 10 million. Isn't it? The moment Josephine realizes that, she's like, I also have my money in the circle. I think I can move money from here to here. Isn't it? And guess what? Our multi-generational wealth aspiration suddenly becomes alive. So to answer your question, hire an expert. If you've read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, there's one advice I took from it very seriously. Never entrust your money with someone who is not an expert in what you're investing in. If you want to lend money, please go to someone who has been lending money, like a bank or microfinance institution. Put your money there. It will be looked after very well. Isn't it? If you want to do farming, go to somebody who has been doing farming and you can see they have actually succeeded and become a small investor in their business. You get it? If you want to do China imports, and resell bulk imports and then repackaging and selling, go to somebody who has been going to China for the last 10 years. And that's how we start making our 10 million, 1 million to start multiplying so rapidly. Yeah.
Another question.
Yes.
So it's more general.
Yes.
So this conversation on money,
yes,
of course we keep on many fronts. But in layman's terms, how would you say money works? Because this is the reason.
Yeah.
Growing up, not even growing, even to date, when I look at fee structures for certain schools, I remember telling someone, what do these parents do to be able to afford to pay 600,000?
Yes,
every term.
Every term.
For one child, and then they have 3 children.
Yes.
And I said I'll ask as plainly as it is, because I need to understand, because of course the end goal is we also of course want at the end of the day to have a comfortable life, and also for children to go to like good schools and whatnot. But from your perspective, your experience, how would you say money works and grows even to those levels? Because again, I love what you told us, moving from being employed to owners. I've not done research on those people to find out whether they are owners or employed.
Yes.
But how can somebody even manage to make money work for them? People keep saying that. Actually, I've heard that term. Yeah. Don't work for money. Let money work for you. But how does this money end up working for you? And this is talking to somebody, let's say, who early stroke mid-stage level in their career. And if they choose to go into business, that's okay. So how would you tell that person how money can work for you? And you can also just give an example. Let's say somebody who's saying, let's say right now they're earning 40,000 Kenya shillings at this time, for example. How can that money work for them at the end of the day? Because what I'm also seeing is all of us who are coming together in that investment group, we also have our own lives. So we need to have that income or money to put into this Chama. But then now sometimes it's that question. How does this practically come to be? Yes.
Things are getting hotter. Wealth is not money. Kate. Wealth is not money. Wealth is mindset.
Okay.
Yeah? Wealth is how you think. That question, how is it some people, they are so okay paying 600,000 for school fees for their children, and they have 3 children in the same school? How that question already in itself implied something. There's a limitation in our thinking. You see? I remember, let me give you my own personal story. I remember when I started my career, I was like, I had a friend of mine saying that they live in a 1-bedroom house in Westlands and they were paying 40,000 bob. I'm like, are you okay? Is your mind okay? And I realized, now when I think back, I was so limited in my thinking. I have paid rent now several times that. Several times. I won't say it because now people will just go crazy. But first of all, the world is full of wealth. Okay? There's an abundance of wealth out there. But your share of that wealth is proportional to how big you think. The bigger you think, the bigger is your share of wealth. When I interview people for a job, I keep saying this. I can tell you how many times someone has ever asked for $1 million. Rarely. Have you ever asked, that question? How much do you expect to be paid?
Yeah, no.
I'm telling you, when somebody says $1 million shilling, I think about them severally. That person has an unlimited thinking. Because then I ask them, why do you think you're worth $1 million? That must be a very confident person. So, the number one starting point